I thought you couldn't get it anymore.
I know a guy who knows a guy.
So we've finally gotten some updates on Constantine 2 that are exactly what fans like me were hoping to hear. After so long without much news, it's really encouraging to know the project is moving forward, especially with James Gunn's new DC Universe shaping up alongside it. Now, I wouldn't say Keanu Reeves' John Constantine is the absolute best live-action version we've seen. Honestly, Matt Ryan from the Constantine TV show and the Arrowverse probably holds that crown for most people, but that 2005 Constantine movie still stands out as a unique take on the character in DC's live-action history. The movie had this dark, moody vibe that really captured the spirit of the comics, and you can tell Keanu genuinely loves playing John Constantine, which adds a lot to the character's appeal. Because of that, I'm honestly pretty excited about the sequel finally taking shape. It's been almost 20 years since the original film came out, and only now does it feel like we're getting close to seeing Constantine 2 on the big screen. Even though the project has been quietly progressing behind the scenes, the lack of solid updates in recent months led to a lot of speculation that maybe the film was dead in the water, especially since the studio's been focused on big things like the new DC Universe Chapter 1 and the ongoing Batman franchise. But thankfully, some fresh news confirms the movie is alive and kicking. Keanu Reeves himself shared some pretty exciting updates about the script recently. After months of radio silence, he let it slip in an interview that the story for Constantine 2 has officially been approved by DC Studios. Apparently, the team behind the movie finally cracked a concept that DC was happy with and gave it the green light. Now, the next step is to actually write the script. Keanu said something along the lines of, "So we're going to try and write a script," which sounds promising, because it means the project is moving forward in a real way. The script is being handled by Akiva Goldsman, who was involved in producing the original movie and also has credits like Batman Forever and Titans under his belt. Plus, it's a good sign that James Gunn and Peter Safran, the co-CEOs of DC Studios, have signed off on the story. Gunn has made it clear in the past that anything outside the main DC Universe continuity, what they call Elseworlds projects, needs to be really special to get the studio support. So, hearing Constantine 2 got this kind of backing tells me the story is something they believe in. Now, about the whole relationship between Constantine 2 and the new DC Universe. Keanu Reeves has made it clear that this sequel won't be part of James Gunn's shared DCU. The movie is set in the same world as the original film, keeping that darker, grittier tone that fans expect from Constantine. Even though there have been rumors swirling about whether Reeves' Constantine could cross paths with characters like Robert Pattinson's Batman, Keanu has put those to rest, saying the story will stay true to the original's vibe and that John Constantine's going to be tortured even more. So no team-ups or big DC Universe crossovers here, at least not for now. This is actually a relief for me for a couple of reasons. First, the tone of Keanu's Constantine is pretty specific. It's darker, a bit edgier, and R-rated in its themes. It wouldn't really mesh well with the more traditional superhero fare in James Gunn's DCU, which has a bigger roster of classic characters and tends to be a bit more colorful and interconnected. I can't imagine seeing Keanu's Hellblazer hanging out with a brighter, more heroic Superman, for example. The Constantine sequel having the freedom to be its own isolated, intense story is exactly what the character needs to shine without getting lost in the larger universe. On the flip side, the DCU could still introduce its own version of John Constantine, and honestly, I'm hoping they bring back Matt Ryan's version for that. Ryan was fantastic as Constantine in the TV show and the Arrowverse, and his version is more sarcastic and street-smart, which fits well with a broader superhero world. He's even voiced Constantine in some animated projects, so there's definitely interest in seeing that take integrated into the DCU. That way, the DC Universe's Constantine can interact with other heroes and villains, like he does in the comics, while Keanu's version stays isolated in his Elseworld story. It's the best of both worlds. Back to Constantine 2, Keanu's enthusiasm about returning is clear. In interviews with director Francis Lawrence, the two have been dropping hints about how close they are to locking down a solid story. While they haven't revealed much plot-wise, they've shared that they're working hard on the concept that feels right and that they're having fun collaborating on it. Reeves said he's aching to play this guy again, which tells you how much passion he has for the character and the project. Francis Lawrence also pointed out that the original film's growing cult following helped push the studio to finally give the sequel the green light. It seems like the timing just finally felt right, and with Akiva Goldsman writing the script, they're confident they're on the verge of something workable and exciting. The director even teased that some characters from the first movie might return, which is a nice touch for fans who want continuity. Peter Stormare, who played Lucifer in the original, has talked about coming back, and there's been speculation that Tilda Swinton's Gabriel might show up again too. If the sequel taps into more of the DC supernatural side, like bringing in Zatanna or Dr. Fate, it could open up a whole new set of possibilities for the story and for Keanu's Hellblazer. It's definitely shaping up to be more than just a simple sequel. It might deepen the mythology around Constantine's world. This update is a huge relief for fans worried the movie might be scrapped after so many years of waiting. The fact that the creative team is almost done figuring out the story means we probably won't have to wait much longer before the sequel officially moves into production. Keanu Reeves and Francis Lawrence's excitement also suggests that they're really committed to making sure Constantine 2 lives up to expectations. After all, it's been 20 years since the first movie, so the follow-up absolutely has to deliver something special for fans who have waited this long. Plus, Constantine 2 feels like a perfect fit for the Elseworlds approach DC Studios is taking with certain stories, ones that stand apart from the interconnected universe and get to be more unique and experimental. While the main focus is obviously on James Gunn's DC universe, there's still room for these distinct projects that explore different tones and themes. And with the rarity of Elseworlds live-action projects, the fact that Constantine 2 is making good progress is a positive sign for fans who want something a bit darker and edgier from DC's lineup. So overall, the latest news about Constantine 2 gives me hope that the sequel will not only happen, but will also be worth the wait. Keanu Reeves, Francis Lawrence, and Akiva Goldsman are all involved, and with the story approved and the script being written, the film is really shaping up nicely. While the movie won't connect directly to James Gunn's DCU, it still promises to bring the dark, supernatural story that made the original so memorable. And because Keanu Reeves and the creative team seem genuinely excited, I think fans can start getting hyped again. It looks like 2025 could be the year Constantine 2 finally comes back to the big screen, and if they get everything right, it could be a standout in the DC catalog, a kind of R-rated supernatural thriller that's been missing from live-action DC movies for a long time. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay in the loop. And if you want, you can share your thoughts about this video in the comments.